I think this guy might have the best top paragraph Wikipedia description in history. Can you just Google the unkillable soldier? He served in the Boer War, First World War, and Second World War. He was shot in the face, head, stomach, ankle, leg, hip, and ear, was blinded in his left eye, survived 2 plane crashes, tunneled out of a prisoner of war camp, and tore off his own fingers when a doctor declined to amputate them. Describing his experiences in the First World War, he wrote, "Frankly, I had enjoyed the war."
There's dudes like that out there. You just have to know there's guys like that out there.
This guy's story, let me tell you about him, man. So he gets born in 1880 to aristocracy in Belgium, and you'd think he's going to go through the typical aristocratic route. He goes to Balliol College in Oxford. His father wants him to go and study law. And you think, right, that's the end of the story there. At 19, he decides that he wants to go and see war. Sneaks away without telling his father and literally offers himself to either the Boers or the British. The British take him. So
holy shit.
He was like, I just want to be in war.
Holy shit.
His father doesn't know. So he's away in war. He gets shot in the leg and the groin, gets shipped back home. His father says, "What? You were supposed to be in university. You've now been shot." He's, okay, well, I'll bless this new military campaign you want to go on. He says, "I want to be redeployed." Gets redeployed again to South Africa. He was at the head of the Camel Corps, which was literally a group of people who rode into battle on camelback. So he gets shot. He gets shot in the ear and then in the eye, and then a bullet ricochets and hits him in the same eye again while he's leading these guys into battle. He gets sent back home. The British military say he wants to go out on the First World War. He wants to go to the front lines of the First World War now. But they said, we can't send a guy with one eye out there because it's going to look like we've got really weak soldiers. So they give him a glass eye and say, the only way that you can go back out is if you wear this glass eye. And he says, oh, okay. In the taxi leaving the hospital, he takes it out, throws it out of a window and starts wearing an eye patch. The first battle that he's in, when he rejoins the army in World War I, a piece of shrapnel explodes his hand, and all that's left are 2 fingers hanging on by the skin of the palm of his hand, and his watch actually embeds itself in his arm too. So this is the first thing that he's encountered again. Goes to the field hospital. The doctor declines to amputate the fingers, so he just rips them off in front of him because he's in so much pain. The arm then has to be amputated. So he says to the guys again, I want to be redeployed. They're like, you are now a one-eyed amputee. I want to be deployed. Battle of the Somme, his next battle that he goes into. There's reports from other soldiers seeing Carton Duart running into battle, pulling the pins out of grenades with his teeth, throwing them at the enemy and reloading a revolver with one hand. So this guy is a single-armed killer. During that, he gets shot through the back of the head. Through the head. Doesn't die. In subsequent battles, he got promoted for 24 hours before he threatened to punch his superior and then got demoted again. So he's just like this totally wild dude. Anyway, he goes through this series of different difficult military exposés. He takes over 3 squadrons who don't have a commanding officer. None of them have any communication. So he, this one-armed, one-eyed guy, decides to run back and forth between the 3 different companies, communicating his own orders. Rather than using a messenger, he just does it himself. That was what he got the Victoria Cross for, which is our equivalent of the Medal of Honor. During this time, he shot a bunch more. You think, right, okay, this guy's just led the most insane campaign through the Boer War and the First World War. Time for him to retire. Wrong. 60 years old, in 1940, he gets conscripted and drawn back up to help run secret missions. So one of his first missions, he gets shot down in a fjord going toward Romania. There's a German plane that shot his plane down, circling overhead. Rather than get into the dinghy, because it would be an easy target, this one-armed, one-eyed guy and all the rest of the crew just bob under the water until this German fighter plane runs out of ammunition. That goes away. He finally gets picked up. Second time he goes up in a plane, this plane crash lands and he swims to shore carrying a injured comrade who survives, one arm, but swims carrying this other dude, gets captured by the Italians. He's then part of 5 escape attempts and digs a 60-meter tunnel with one arm and a bunch of other dudes. Then he spends a full week hiding out in northern Italy, despite the fact that he's 62 years old, one-armed, one-eyed, can't speak Italian, and has covered in scars. Then he finally gets picked up and released. They said that the only thing that the Italians had left to do was to use him to enable an armistice. They wanted to no longer be a part of the war. They use 𝐒𝐿 𝐒𝐿 to be an envoy between the two nations. And they said, well, you've been a prisoner of war for 9 months. You don't look or smell the way that you should do. Why don't we give you a nice Italian tailor? And he rejected their offer to give him an Italian suit and said he would only wear one if they got it from Savile Row because, quote, he didn't want to look like a gigolo.
This guy's a human badger.
He's 31 medals, shot nearly as many times, got used. He insulted Mao. He insulted Chairman Mao in China when he got used by Winston Churchill. There's photos of him stood behind Churchill, eye patch, just a fucking sleeve, and he's my new. Look at him! Look at him!
Wow. We had a few guys that were really good in the early days, like Oleg Taktarov and some other guys who were really good, but we didn't have the level that you have like a Paul Harris.
Yeah.
I think he came from a really, really bad childhood.
Okay.
And he's talked about it in depth about growing up on a farm and being forced to eat pig slop when he was a little boy.
No way.
That cut that he has on his chest, that big scar, he had sealed that up with glue. I just think when he's in competition, man, he just doesn't want to let it go.
Yeah.
He wants, and they make him let it go, and he tried, even though he knew that they were going to get mad at him if he didn't let go, still didn't quite let go.
Yeah.
And they're like, get the fuck out of here. They kicked him out of the UFC, the first guy ever to get kicked out of the UFC for holding on to submission.
Oh, he got kicked out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you know who he held it against?
I don't know, but I want to make sure that that's true. I think it is. That 𝐒𝐿 Paul Harris was the first guy to ever get kicked out of the UFC for, and I think the last one they got kicked out for was like any normal person wouldn't even gotten in trouble for that one.
Yeah.
It was like normal. It was like maybe a little bit too long, but it was on that borderline edge. But because it was him, people were like, enough. Is that what it was?
It wasn't in the UFC, but it was a controversial submission victory over Jake Shields at World Series of Fighting.
Yeah, Jake Shields, I think.
Yeah, but I think he did that too, but that was a Kimura. Yeah, that's right. But I think before that, he got kicked out of the UFC.
Released in 2013. Oh, Mike Pierce had a referee intervened.
Referee intervened, that's right.
Heel hook, there you go.
Yep, so that's what it was. Yeah. Okay, that's what it was. He was released after holding on to a heel hook of Mike Pierce in 2013. Yeah. But look, man, that guy was particularly scary when he fought because he was so strong and his body was so well designed for heel hooks.
Oh, right.
He just could grab a hold of you and rip your shit apart, man.
Look at that.
Look at the size of him.
Oh, my God.
Bro. Look at this. Now, look what he does here. See, he grabs a hold of it. Mike Pierce is
already done.
He's tapping. He's still holding. But that's all in slow motion. But it looked to me like he was still ripping the knee apart, even though he knew that the guy tapped.
Yeah.
He had it. He knew he had it. He's just punishing that guy. He makes it scarier for other people, and he's probably used to doing it. He had this psychological block. They all say that he's like a really, really nice guy.
Yeah. You just become that guy that nobody wants to fight.
Fucking
and you can't
animal, man.
make no money.
But I think in the Jake Shields fight, there was other shit that was happening, too. I think there was eye pokes. Which fight was it that you pulled up?
That fight that took,
yeah. Oh, when he
Mike
ripped
Pierce.
that guy's knee apart. Yeah. Yeah, he was the first guy to be like super scary and a elite modern level with heel hooks.
Where did he start off? Do you know what promotion?
Well, he's a Minotauro guy.
Okay, yeah, he is a Minotauro guy.
So he came out of Brazil.
Probably Cage Warriors?
I don't know, man. I don't know what he was fighting in Brazil.
I don't remember seeing
Cage Warriors is the UK. Right?
Is it?
Yeah. That's where Anderson came from. Well, Anderson, when he made the jump from Pride, he did Cage Warriors for a while and then came over to the UFC.
And I think that's when he started working with the Nogueiras, when he started fighting in Cage Fighters.
Oh, so he fought in a bunch of Fury FCs, fought in a bunch of stuff. Storm Samurai 12. Dum, dum,
Floripa
dum.
Fight.
Storm Samurai 12. I want a t-shirt for Storm Samurai 12.
Damn. Throwback.
Yeah, real throwback.
2006.
Yeah. He had a great.
High voltage.
It goes to show you how good Gary Tonin is as a submission grappler too, because they had a great submission grappling match. Go back to his record there because I think that was listed there. I think it turned out in a draw, and Gary Tonin is so much smaller than him. Draw, yeah, Gary Tonin.
Oh yeah, that was recent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was that really 2016?
I think it was.
Because I remember. No, that was Craig Jones. Okay.
2018 was Craig Jones.
Yeah, because
He
I
lost to
remember
Craig Jones.
someone was posting pictures about like how he looks now. 𝐒𝐞 𝐒𝐿. He's got a fade and like this big mustache now, and he's all.
He looks like he's
jacked up
1,000 pounds.
Yeah, for sure.
It looks like he's running through walls.
Yeah.
Is he fighting MMA anymore, or is he just doing grappling?
I think he might just be doing grappling. I haven't heard any MMA news.
That's something extra scary about a guy who'll fuck your knee up.
Yeah.
You know? What's up? Look at the size of him now.
Look at
Whoa,
that.
Son.
He's with 𝐒𝐞 𝐒𝐿.
Oh, son.
Dude, look at that
Jesus,
arm.
son. You saw
I do not want to get my heel caught in that armpit.
Yeah. Look at that picture above where he's screaming. Look at that picture. Like, what in the fuck, man?
No way. Look at Craig Jones just chilling.
That is a body designed to rip your legs apart. Tyson, you saw abs when he came out of prison. Remember that? When he fought Peter McNeely? Dude, he was prison jacked. That was like maybe the scariest Tyson ever. Like they finally released him, and all he'd been doing in jail
was working out.
I don't think he could box in jail. So I think he was just lifting weights. That was in 1995.
Yeah, he looks good there. Yeah,
Dude, he looks
really
terrifying. That was the most terrifying looking Tyson ever. He just looked like he was made out of steel. Just a tank of a
look at
man.
those arms.
And I'll never forget the fucking weigh-in, or the stare-down rather, because during the stare-down, Peter McNeely signed up for that fight knowing that he's a tough guy who's going to take a fucking vicious beating. That's what he signed up for. He knew what he was doing. He knew he was going to give it his all, but he knew if you had to bet, most people were not betting on Peter McNeely.
Yeah.
But you could see it in Tyson's face when he's staring him down. There's this crazy, he's following him everywhere he goes, like a predator, dude. It's like a predator who can't wait to get the green light to let the genie out of the bottle. Watch this. This is Tyson's first fight. Like, look, you see Peter McNeely's kind of looking down, and you look over at Tyson. Look at his eyes following
yeah,
him.
look at that.
That is fucking terrifying. If you're looking at that, and you know you're about to fight Mike Tyson, and he's smiling and trying to make light of it. Oh my God.
And he looks just like a prison guard.
Dude, he
So
is
easy.
Oh yeah, he does. Peter
Yeah,
McNeely does.
that
look
same
like a prison
hair.
guard. That's prison guard hair.
After the
That
Charlie
Green
Sheen-
Mile hair.
That is
Mike
hilarious.
Tyson. I sat next to. I sat next to Tyson at the Charlie Sheen roast and made a lot of jokes about him. And afterwards, Dice called me. I didn't really know Dice at the time. He called me like a couple weeks later. He's like, "Jeff, it's Dice." He's like, basically said that he couldn't believe I said those things to Mike Tyson. And like he was offended. I go, "What do you mean? What?" He's like, "Do you have any idea what that animal could have done to you? You were 2 feet away." And then we've been friends ever since. But I didn't think about Tyson. He seemed like a pussycat at the time.
At the time. But if that was Tyson from like 1986.
I think if I watched an old fight, yeah.
Look at you.
By the end of the night, I'm literally like laughing into his lap.
Well,
And
once
he loved it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he loved
He
it.
could take jokes.
Oh yeah.
But you wouldn't want to be doing
I said,
that.
imagine if I said I don't want to piss you off, Mike. If you would do that to your face, imagine what you would do to mine.
He's basically the only celebrity to ever pull off a face mask, right? A face tattoo.
I thought- no,
Who else has
who-
done it? What celebrity?
A few now,
Charles
but-
Manson.
Well, those mumble rapper dudes, yeah, like Post Malone type characters.
Yeah, Tekashi 69.
But he was the first.